Good afternoon, America. This is Dr. Cherry. One more time, thank you very much for watching my videos and learning a little bit more each time about the cosmic code jurisdictions. All right, good news. I am announcing to all my supporters of an online show that focuses on empowering an empath, very highly sensitive people. Now, yesterday I did a 45-minute session with Fleur Choi. And of course, in the newsletter, you can read all the details and get the link so you can be listening not only to me, but to some very, very gifted speakers that can help you to grow spiritually. So right in that newsletter, you will have the banner, just click on it and then read the rest of the story. Now, what else do we have? If you read my last newsletter, the quatrains and the keywords that I use to represent the SOS to the World Deadly Plutonic Window really point out all those dramatic news that took place. So I cannot read all the pieces of news that transpire lately, but they are all collected for you in the newsletter. Right on the top of the newsletter, you have a link, click on it and go and read the rest of the story. But as far as mentioning the police, that is a keyword, the police. We had 10,000 reward offered for information on shooting at a Milwaukee funeral home. Police news. New York PD officers will face disciplinary actions for not wearing masks. Police news. Police seize arsenal after Portland man smashes patrol car window and hurt officer. Police news. Remember what my window says. A few days ago, I prepare you. Crazy people will kill people. Crazy people will kill the police. The police will kill people. And it's right here now after this nasty window. What else do we have? Texas cop on leave in shooting death of a 31-year-old man. Here you go. You can't make this stuff up, my friends. It's there. Police news, dramatic news. Gunman in Mexico ambush security forces and kills 6 police officers. Police news. Cops resume productions after cancellation of Paramount Network. Police news. Chicago records deadliest September in over 25 years. Oh my gosh, my good friend, there is so much involving this nasty negative news. Florida woman found stabbed to death in the middle of a suburban street. In Florida, my gosh, this is insane. Insane. Famous deaths. Rock legend Eddie Van Halen dies at 65. Actor Thomas Jefferson Bird fatally shot in Atlanta. Legendary pitcher Bob Gibson died at 84. Businessman dies while trying to break British land speed record. Ex-MLB pitcher found dead after shot in woman shooting death. Secret to light, death near all this nasty soup, this nasty dance of evil is right in front of your eyes. And I can understand why you do not necessarily want to watch the news, my friends. But again, my job as an astrologer is to point out those various cosmic winds and prepare you for such dramatic news so you do not become part of the statistics. All right, so let's see where we have here. Again, as you go into that newsletter, okay, you have the link, it's live. If you read the President, Melania Trump tests positive for COVID-19, what's next? All the collected dramatic news that I just mentioned and so much more transpire last few days, and they can only reflect the reality of my quatrains and all the obvious keywords that I posted for you. I'm working for you. I'm trying to help you. Now, If you look at the title of this newsletter, Kamala Harris versus Mike Pence, and the winner is, if you remember and watch my last video, I told you in the nasty, deplorable debate between Trump and the presidential candidate, what I'm trying to tell you here is that I knew that the stars were on the side, not on the side of our president, okay? And that's why everything went the wrong way, okay? On the other side, it seems that the Democrats made a little bit of progress there. But again, remember, I am not a Democrat. I am not a Republican. I am an astrologer. And when I told you that Pence had Biden, Joe Biden had the right cosmic window on his side, and that won't be good for Trump, I was correct. Okay, as far as the next debate, Wednesday night, okay, between Kamala Harris and what is his name? When I channel information, I find very hard to remember names because I'm already in the stratosphere out there. With the vice president, I can already tell you that Kamala Harris has the stars on her side. Okay, so I might be wrong. Don't get me wrong, because I don't know everything. All I know is last time I used my cosmic biorhythm, I was dead on. I was right. It's undeniable. It's dated. It's printed. It's on the video. It's on YouTube. It's there for you. You can't deny it. Okay. So I'm doing it again so I can prove my claim that my cosmic biorhythm, positive or negative, works. And if they work for political people, for all those politicians, it can also work for you. And that's why I'm doing this. So, but most importantly, remember my last video, I literally beg every one of you to pray for President Trump because COVID-19 is not a joke, even though that he wants you to believe it is not serious and you shouldn't wear a mask. You know, logic, science, and intelligence point out in a very different directions. So your prayer have worked. He was surrounded by the best of the best of the best of the cream of the medical profession, who gave him all sorts of medication that put him back on his own will into the White House where he should not be. But hey, that is the situation. Incidentally, one of my best friends during the same week, and he's only 2 years older than Trump, went into the hospital and is right now fighting for his life. Of course, he didn't get all the best of the best of the best of the cream of medical doctors to take care of him. So I'm very sick about him because he didn't get out of the hospital. I pray for him. That's all I can do. So as far as Trump is concerned, my good friend, the October the 10th and the 11th, register, make note, because I'll be there to refresh your memory. Expect like a beginning or ending of important phases of life. It's either Trump is God and beat the coronavirus and that's it, okay? Or the reality will come up and there will be a new start for him, for the medical field that is, all those doctors are taking care of him. And I hope, I don't want to see him being brought back to that hospital because, you know, having a sick president means also taking a hell of a risk with our foreign enemies. And you know, Trump's dragon still does not support foreigners, foreign land, foreign affairs. And that's probably one of the reasons why, if you look at the news involving Trump's, the entire world is literally laughing about what's going on in the United States. Uh, this is the sad reality, my good friends. Uh, this president doesn't have the stars to make this America great again. He has the stars to destroy it. Of course, you may or may not understand or agree with me, which you have your right. But I'm not using my logical mind. I'm using my third eye. I'm using my cosmic wisdom. And that is something that many of you might have a bit of a problem to delegate. But that's what it is. It tells you, don't wear a mask. It doesn't work. Science is wrong, whatever it is. The next thing you know, you have a man that is charging the death of an 80-year-old guy, an 80-year-old man after a mass dispute in New York bar. And how many of these disputes you do not know that do not end tragically, but marks people for the rest of your life? A president is supposed to unify, to work together. Look how split we are because Gemini does that. Gemini is split, confused, is all over the place. You have his chart in the newsletter. Take the time to read his UCI. Take the time to read everything that we are going through. And I made another quatrain back in 2015, on January 26, 2015. I wrote a quatrain where I said to prepare for December, where the evil spirit of Hitler legacy will be challenged and where the cosmic God may grace humanity. I don't know at that point because it's so very confusing what's going on out there, because right at the top of the leadership, this very serious disease is not taken serious. It's like it's something that, you joke about. It's something that you shouldn't worry about. But again, if you lost a family member, if you lost a friend, that would be a very, very different situation here. So, this virus is not a joke. It has killed a lot of people. And my best friend is right now fighting for his life. The entire world is laughing at us. I'm telling you, if you read the news, President Trump has a very negative stance involving foreigners and foreign lands. And America is the laughing stock of the world right now. So all I can tell you is, again, pray for our president, pray for our country, okay? Do what is logical. Don't do it for yourself. When I wear a mask, I have no fear. I have no fear of coronavirus. I know it's deadly, but I have no fear, okay? But I'm doing it for other people who have very deep fears, that are aged, that are, like in my case, very, very prone to die of this disease. Wear your mask, wash your hand, keep your distance, stop the war. Don't let those idiots killing 80-year-old guys because he's asking him, wear a mask, I'm afraid you're going to kill me. Be a decent human being. This is not asking too much. It's just asking you to be a normal, decent human being. And while I'm at it, I also mentioned to you that my windows always produce earthquakes at or above 6.0. We had another 6.0. I think it's yesterday in Fiji. So that makes it 6.0, 6.4, another 6.0, and a swarm of earthquakes in Southern California. I talked about this yesterday, my good friends. So, when it comes down to the reality, every single thing that is going on right now in the United States, if you take the time to click on Trump's head, which is running Gemini, that'll drive you crazy. That's Gemini, okay? I say something and there'll be something else to say because there's a dual sign. Create all this confusion, all this commotion. It steers radio, television, journalism to the roof. Everybody talks about Trump night and day, 24/7, because the head is in Gemini and Trump is a Gemini. And he has by birth the dragon conjuncting his dragon, producing all this commotion, all this activity that drives people completely insane, and they do not know what's going on. Just click on your president's face. and read all that I wrote on the day before he became the president, and look at what's going on. Look at my predictions on Coast to Coast. It's there, it's dated, it's undeniable. All I'm trying to do when I talk about the wind and a year of wind and fire, and you see the nasty energy that took places, it is because of your president stars. If you are not cosmic conscious, you will never, ever in a million years agree with me, because you lack the information to understand that when you elect a president, you have to suffer his fate. If Trump was not our president, if Trump was just a normal person, my friend, believe me, he would have a hell of a lot of problems dedicating with education, dedicating with foreigners, dedicating with foreign land, dedicating with anything and everything that is totally normal for you, but completely abnormal for him. If you click on this chart, you would know that Romney, near-death experience in France, this politician, like Trump, has the same stars than Trump. He's very unlucky on foreign land and with religion. He went to France to promote his Mormon religion. He nearly died on foreign ground because of his religion. Okay, remember another thing. Sagittarius rules pets and nature. Trump is the only president who doesn't have a little dog. He doesn't like pets, okay? His tail of the dragon regulates nature. Nature means forest. Nature means anything to do with natural disaster, hurricane. Your president stars is bringing this to this country because you have elected a president to have very negative stars. Much like the German elected Hitler, you have now to suffer the idiosyncrasy, the ego, the ignorance, the obnoxious energy of somebody, I'm not saying President Trump, who was born with those stars. If you don't want me to address to Trump, remember, I'm an astrologer, not a politician, my friends. And that's why I have to use famous people. I talk about George Norrie. I talk about so many famous people. Trump is just another person that I refer to, but it's a very important person because it is the president of the most powerful country in the world, designed by God with the head of the dragon to control, to organize, and to protect the rest of the world. So Trump is going completely against the stars, against God cosmic design, against America, very Leo control country. He's going completely against that by putting this country in a box, by building the big wall. And you heard me a million times before, but that is for those who just jump in this video. There is no need, Mr. President, to finish your wall. The wall is now enemy, hidden enemies called coronavirus. Because, as you heard me many times before, the future is nothing else than the reincarnation of your thoughts. And we create our reality. So all the people who like Trump, don't like foreigners, who are very, very protective of their country, who fear foreign invasion, all these people add to President Trump message, okay, to put America in the box, build a wall. And these are the thought generated process that ended up creating the virus and putting America in a very solid, infectious box. My friend, if you think Trump's going to get out of this one easy, I wish it with all my heart for the sake of this country and for the sake of the world, because what happened to America has repercussions worldwide. Okay. But I'm giving you 2 days. Okay. Earlier, I give you October the 10th and October the 11th. That will be the beginning of the end of important phases of life for Trump, for the United States, and for the world. And I will be there to refresh your memory, my friend. It is very close. It's next door. This negative, deadly window is over. It's done his nightmare. It's done his damage. It was used by the reptilians to the maximum. It has those entities have infected our president's brain. It's not running properly anymore, especially with all these chemicals and all this medication that helps him to be normal fighting coronavirus. This is very, very serious. And wait when the tail of the dragon hit the most destructive, deadliest sign of all, Scorpio. Then the rebirth of the United States will take place. The entire financial institution will be rebirthing. All those corporations, wealthy, rich suckers who have used and abusers are going to hit the ground. This is going to be a very interesting rebirth for America. And I can only hope that those who are going to be in control then have the right stars. And that's why I will do the stars of Biden. I will do the stars of Kamala Harris. I already did Kamala Harris, but I will put them together to see where they're going to go. And what once Biden is in power, what he's going to bring to this great country. Until then, I'm no God. I'm no God. I'm just a human being like you, gifted or cursed by handling God's cosmic design and sharing information with a world that has so much to learn, in a world which is rational, practical, down to earth, or religious, even atheist in some cases. So my dilemma, my challenge is extraordinary, yet I'm doing my best, the best way I can. And by looking at the response that I create out there, people are picking up on my cosmic wisdom. So once again, my good friends, watch the date of October the 10th and October the 11th, or soon after those two dates, and you're going to see the power of the stars in actions. Until then, my good friend, make it a beautiful day. Stay safe. Please wear your mask. Keep your distance. Wash your hands. Don't be an opportunity for the reptilians to kill an 80-year-old man, or put more fear into other people who fear, and for good reason, this very deadly disease. All right, my good friend. God bless you all. See you again.